Hi guys, how is it going? So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to install NiFi, Apache NiFi on your Kubernetes cluster. I'm going to be using StatefulSet because that is recommended. The reason it's recommended is because NiFi requires persistent storage and it's good for maintaining port identity, and there are some other benefits as well. But without getting into too much detail, let me go into the first file. So this is going to be NiFi YAML, and I'm going to say so if you want to create a stateful set, you need a headless service. So I'm going to create the service first. So I'm going to say PR version. And you got to v1. I'm going to say kind, got to service. And I'm going to say metadata. It's going to be NiFi SVC. I'm going to say spec. And for spec, I'm going to specify cluster IP got to none. This is what makes the service headless. If you specify cluster IP is none, that means it's a headless service. And I'm going to say ports. I'm going to say the name of that port is HTTP. Now I'm going to say ports is 1880. And I'm going to say selector. And I'm going to say app, it's NiFi. I'm going to provide a label app to the stateful set later. That's the reason I'm using app as the selector here. So I think that is it. So the next thing I will do is basically create a stateful set version for the apps. For stateful set, you need to use app/VM. And the kind is going to be stateful set. And the metadata is going to be going to say labels. Going to use app NiFi. Share this to go here. I'm going to say the name of this stateful set is going to be NiFi. I'm going to specify the spec. So I'm going to say replicas is 1, 2. I'm going to say service name. So the headless service is going to be here. NiFi SVC. So the headless service is basically used for internal networking. And so I'm going to specify selector there. So I want this selector to match with this label of app project. Now I need to create all the templates. So the templates need to have a metadata. Metadata, so labels port is going to be app NiFi. So this is what this is selecting here. So they need to be the same. So then the next thing is the spec. So the port spec, the port image. So I've got 2 nodes right in this WSL, and I want this port to be scheduled to be running on one of the nodes. And the reason is because of some network issues I was facing earlier. So if you're working in cloud, you can schedule it on multiple nodes. But for this case, for this tutorial, I'm just going to let it run on the same node. So I'm going to use node select, and I'm going to look for. So let me run kube control get match. I'm going to use wildcard. So I'm going to want to show you this. I need to specify the labels of that node. For the Minikube, I want to schedule it on Minikube, right? This one. So for the Minikube, this is label that is quite unique. So I'm going to use that label. So I'm going to say, so this is node selector. I'm going to say Kubernetes.ra/hostname is me. Now, then I will specify the container. Containers is a list. I'm going to say the name of the container is going to be actually and NiFi 1.7.0. This is the version I want to use. 7.0. And I'm going to say image. Image is going to be Apache NiFi version 1.7.0. And I'm going to say, so basically NiFi, if you need to run NiFi, access NiFi via UI, when you are creating it in Kubernetes, you need to specify some variable. And in this case, I'm going to use env, environment variable, right? I'm going to say the name of the variable is NiFi web and HTTP, and the value is going to be 80. And the second variable is going to be NiFi web HTTP host, and the value is going to bind to new IP address. So once that is done, since NiFi requires persistent volume, we need to mount this to a specific volume. So I need to specify volume. I need to call this one data. It's data. And I need to say mount part is and another thing I need to specify is basically the image pool policy. So I want it to pull the image if it's not present, the NiFi image, if not present. If it's not present in the local repository. So the next thing I need to specify is the volume. So basically, with deployment, you have to create a volume and persistent volume as well as persistent volume claim. But for a StatefulSet, it's easier to do in the sense that you don't need to create a persistent volume claim separated. You can just configure the volume claim policy. So I'll say volume claim and templates here, templates. That would be a list of volume meta data. Before I do anything else, I need to make sure that this is in the same indent as the template. Okay, page. So metadata, the name, of the volume is going to be data NiFi, has to match what is above, and spec is going to be access strength which bytes nodes, and I need to request for some resources. Requests is I need to request for 5 check the private of storage. And that is it. So let me see. A specified service name, a specified replica is selected. And the other thing I need to specify is the port. I need this NiFi port to be listening on port 8080. So I'm going to say ports. And I'm going to say the name of the port is HTTP. And I want it to listen to 8080. A container port is going to be 8080. So I'm going to save this one. And I'm going to say group info gets StatefulSet. There's no StatefulSet. So I'm going to say group control and group control and I need to specify the annotation. Let me check again. I think that is all. Let me run group control and group control apply NiFi YAML. StatefulSet NiFi is invalid. Invalid value. Okay, the name of the container. Then I say right name. Wow, geez. Say 1.7. 7.0. So let me try again. So that StatefulSet has been created. Let me check. KGet StatefulSet. So all of them are ready. KGet port. I need to use wildcard to see which node they've been scheduling. So lots of them are scheduling on Minikube node, which is good. So the next thing I need to do is create an Ingress as well as the service that we expose that will allow us to access the NiFi from a web browser. So the first thing I'm going to do is create a service, and the service is going to be a ClusterIP service. So I'm going to click control and create SVC cluster IP, and I'm going to say the name of that SVC is going to be NiFi UI, and I'm going to say TCP is going to be 8080 for the target port is going to be 8080, and I'm going to say the output is in YAML format. I'm going to use a dry record files. I'm going to send this one to NiFi UI. So I'm going to go to NiFi UI and do some updates. I'm going to call this the name 8080 and the port is 8080. So NiFi UI ClusterIP. So I think that is all. There's one thing, the app needs to match the StatefulSet app. So it's going to be selector app is NiFi. So now I can save this and run group control apply NiFi UI. So KGet SVC. Sorry. Group control get SVC. So we've got NiFi UI here, and this is custom IP. The other service that I created, that was NiFi SVC, right? Let me see. NiFi.yaml. NiFi SVC. That should be created, right? What was created? Service NiFi SVC. First item is not. That's as we see. Testing. Give me a second. So for some reason that service was not created. What I'm going to do is create it separately. So I'm going to say NiFi SVC YAML, and I'm going to put the content in here. So and try to create it. If it gives me error, I need to know what it's giving to apply of my SVC. So it gets SVC. So it's there, right? It's created here for the cloud. It wasn't created when I put it in the same YAML manifest file, and for some reason, but anyway, it's created. Good. So we have two services, right? One is the headless service, which is for internal networking for the stateful set. The second one is NiFi UI, which is the one we are going to be using within our Ingress to basically access the NiFi from your browser. So what I'm going to do is create an Ingress. So I'm going to say, by the way, you may notice I'm using K. That is because I've done this K confirm. So it's easy for me. So I say K create and Ingress. And the Ingress name is going to be NiFi Ingress. And I'm going to specify, so I'm going to specify the host. I'm going to say Stephen dot NiFi dot max dot com, and I'm going to use leave the prefix like that. Just normally, if you open NiFi, it's going to go into the NiFi directory home page. If you specify this, so it's going to go into NiFi home page by default. So I don't need to specify that actually. I just say equal to the service name, which is NiFi UI. This is not the headless service. This is the service that needs to expose NiFi to the UI, basically forward the incoming traffic into NiFi. And it's going to go to port 8080. And I need to specify the annotation. So the annotation I need to specify is going to be annotation. It's going to be equal to this engines ingress Kubernetes.io /byte targets. So that is going to be equal to this, right? And I'm going to say output is YAML. I'm going to use driving content clients. I'm going to send this one to the NiFi Ingress. So I'm going to NiFi Ingress to YAML. Is there anything else I need to use? I need to use this as I need to say this is prefix. And so I need to use this as my URL, right? So I will save this one as 1K and F NiFi Ingress. Get Ingress. I'm going to use wide comments. So you can see this is the host name and it's bound to this IP address. So what I'm going to do is add this to the list of the hosts within this WSN. So I'm going to use sudo vi etc and etc hosts. I'm going to copy this and go to open this, and I'm going to add it to the list of the where is it again? So I know the host name is the same as this. Let's see. Yeah. Need a get Ingress. So click. So it's going to be this one. And need to add it here. So we need to save this one. And I think everything is done. So because this is WSL, I need to install, you need to install Firefox within the WSL. You snap install Firefox. You can do that. I already did it, so it's been installed. So if you try to access it from your web browser, it's not going to work unless you correct some networking issue with WSL2. WSL2 has a networking issue, that is a rabbit hole. But for easy setup, you can install Firefox and WSL and take Firefox. So with Firefox running, so Firefox is up and running. What I can do is go to, and what I'm going to do is copy this, try to access NiFi from here. Firefox. So if I paste it here and go to NiFi, hopefully that will work. Let's see, is it working? Is it working? Is it working? Yeah. So you've got NiFi set up and running. Yeah, I don't want to go into anything else. So that is how you can get NiFi set up running on basically your Minikube cluster within your WSL. So that is it for this video, guys. Don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe button, and leave a comment. Have a lovely day and goodbye.